Hello everyone, myself Jay Krishnan. So today I will be presenting you on the Target's failure in the Canadian market. Target is one of the most well-known retailers in the United States, but its Canadian expansion was one of the most notable business failures in recent history. In this presentation, I will walk you through why the expansion failed and the cultural and the strategic mistakes, business failures in recent history. What are what strategic mistakes they made and what lessons global marketers can learn from this case. So here is a brief introduction about Target Corporation. So Target is a US-based discount retailer founded in 1902, best known for its slogan "Expect more, pay less" in the United States. So in the United States, Target is extremely popular thanks to the trendy but affordable products, exclusive designer partnership, and an efficient supply chain. In 2013, Target entered the Canadian market with high expectations, opening over 100 stores. However, only 2 years later, in 2015, Target shut down all of its Canadian locations after losing more than $2 billion. So here is a brief overview of the Canadian market. Before we look into what we went wrong, it's important to understand the Canadian retail market of Target. So at the time of entry, Canada had around 35 million people, highly urbanized and multicultural. Canadian shoppers are very price sensitive and already had strong loyalty to existing retailers like Walmart, Costco, Canadian Tire and Loblaws. On top of that, Canada is a geographical large country with distribution challenges, making logistics more complex than in the US. So here is the global marketing strategy for Target. Target's strategy for Canada followed the same playbook that made it successful in the US. The brand relied on its reputation, supply chain systems, and fashionable low-cost products. So for entry, Target acquired more than 200 sellers stores, leases, and quickly rolled out to 124 stores in just 2 years. The idea was to capture market share quickly, but this aggressive approach left little time to test, adapt, or fix problems. So this is where the problems here. These are the main challenges in the Canadian market faced by the Target. So Target supply chain in Canada broke down, leaving main stores with empty shelves. Prices were also noticeably higher than in the US, frustrating Canadians who shopped at the Target across the border. So many seller store locations were outdated or poorly situated, which had foot traffic. Most importantly, Canadians expected the same shopping experience they enjoyed in the US, and when that didn't happen, they quickly lost trust in the brand. Meanwhile, Walmart and Costco continued to dominate with better prices and their strong logistics. So this is the Target's concepts and theory from a global marketing concepts and theories. So from a marketing theory perspective, Target struggled with the balance between standardization and adaptation. So they standardized the US strategy but failed to adapt it into Canadian needs. So their entry strategy through acquisition seemed efficient, but inheriting sellers' weak locations created long-term problems. Looking at the Portage 5-4, Target faced intense competition, strong buyer power from price-sensitive Canadians, moderate supply power due to higher cost, and a growing threat from online retailers like Amazon. So all of these create an environment where uh, Target was at a very vast disadvantage. So here we can see that cultural consideration played a huge role in Target's failure. Canadian consumers expected the same or even lower prices than in the US, but instead found higher cost and fewer choices for in the case of Target. So Target also underestimated the emotional loyalty many Canadians had to existing retailers like Walmart. So culturally, many people felt that the Target treated Canada as a secondary market rather than investing in market, making it uniquely Canadian. So this lack of cultural adaptation further damaged the brand's image. So here is a small evaluation or adaptation of Target. So in short, Target adapted very little to the Canadian market. Its product mix was not well suited, pricing was uncompetitive, and the supply chain lacked localization. The brand overestimated its US reputation and assumed Canadian customers would respond the same way. Instead, the mismatch between brand promise and customer reality became one of the biggest reasons for the failure. So here are the key learnings and takeaways from the target we can learn. So what can global marketers learn from this? First, I think never overestimate the brand equity in a no market. So customer awareness in one country does not automatically transfer to another. So secondly, the localization is very critical, from pricing to product mix to marketing strategy messages. Third, the logistics are absolutely essential in retail. So finally, expanding gradually instead of aggressively allows for cost correction and adaptation before scaling. So if I were the CEO, I will do three things differently. So during the expansion, if I am the CEO, I would have made three main key changes. So first, I would have launched only 10 to 20 pilot stores to test logistics and fish issues before scaling nationwide. Second, I would have localized pricing and marketing, so matching US prices as closely as possible, creating campaigns that connected with Canadian culture. Third, I would have conducted deeper market research to select better locations instead of taking our sellers less desirable sites. So these three steps could have significantly improved target chance of success. So here we can see the Target's competitors. The biggest competitor for Target was Walmart Canada. So Walmart had several competitive advantages: a strong low-cost strategy, well-established logistics, and a strong brand trust among Canadian consumers. So using Fortis by force, Walmart had the upper hand across all the areas, including their low prices, reduced buyer power, strong customer-supplier relationships, improved efficiency, and its scale created high barriers for the new entrants. So in comparison, Target simply couldn't compete at the same level. So here are some recommendations for the future global expansion. Looking ahead, Target and other companies should learn from this experience when entering new international market. So expansion should be gradual with pilot launches before national rollouts. Companies should partner with local suppliers to build a more reliable supply chain. So a strong e-commerce presence should complement physical stores, especially in countries with large geographies like Canada. And finally, marketing strategies must be adopted to local culture rather than copy directly from the home market. So to conclude, Target's Canadian expansions failed due to a combination of supply chain issues, pricing mismatches, poor location strategy, and cultural missteps. The key lesson is that global success requires local adaptation. Entering a new market is not about copying what works at home. It's about understanding the unique dynamics, cultural, and expectation of the new market. My presentation is over. Thank you.